So, looking at Geza Felicitas Krause, European Junior Champion last year, still 19 years of age. Clarisse Kruse, and then Lubov Karlamolova. Zulema Fuentes-Pilar, one of two sisters in this competition, Diana Martin, Sandra Eriksson, Natalia Gorchakova, and this possibly the favourite for this event, Turkey's Gülcan Mıngır. Well, Mingir surprised us all with a European leading time of 9:13.53 in Sofia earlier this month. Let's see what she can do in the final. Stephanie Riley, Sana Kuba, former European Junior Champion from Latvia, Polina Jelizarova, and Kuta Bobasel, and the impressive Ukrainian Svetlana Schmidt. German record holder, Antje Mulder-Smit. And on the inside, Bulgaria's Silvia Danakova. Well, the director conveniently picked out some of the favourites, and they do include Krause, Karlamolova, Mingir, and Schmidt. They're the four that we're looking at.
It's interesting, this woman, Mingir, has a best this year, 18 seconds rather, quicker than Schmidt, the next quickest.
Championship finals, though, are always a great leveller. And Schmidt, well, she hasn't run a great deal outside of the Ukraine. Here we see her right at the front at the moment. It'll be interesting to see what she can do in these big championship conditions. She did look very impressive in the heat. Well, at these early stages, while the big pack of 15 women get themselves sorted out, just to repeat who's in there: Bulgaria's Danikova, Germany's Molnar Schmidt, Ukraine's Schmidt, Romania's Bobasel, Latvia's Jelizarova, Germany's Kuba, Ireland's Riley, Turkey's Gülcan Mıngır, Russia's Gorchakova, Finland's Eriksson, Spain's Martin, and the other Spaniards, Zulema Fuentes-Pilar. Everybody cleaning over that barrier. And the remaining two, Portugal's Clarisse Kruse and Geza Felicitas Krause from Germany, one of three Germans who's made the final. So we have the tall German record holder, Antje Mulder-Schmidt, taking the lead at the moment. Just behind her, the much slighter figure of Gülcan Mıngır. And you can see swinging out around the outside to make sure they get a clean view of the barrier. Out on the left of your screen just a moment ago, Polina Jelizarova and Kuta Bobasel. And as we saw in the heat, and she was rewarded with a personal best, Clarisse Krause also likes to be up at the front. So, on the inside and at the front, it's Gülcan Mıngır. The blue background denoting Europe's fastest runner, and on the shoulder, Clarisse Krause. Well, a rather sedentary pace, I'd say, at this stage.
Yes, it's picked up a little bit. One time I was rather fearing it's going to be rather like the men's steeplechase and very, very slow. But when Mulder-Schmidt took it up, it did increase in tempo a little bit. And now we've got Kuba, the other German. So the two Germans going very well. Mingir, very happy to stay in second place. She looked pretty ominous. And Clarisse Kruse, also the tall Portuguese athlete, in third place. No show really yet from Svetlana Schmidt, who actually likes to front run.
Yeah, it's quite a surprise. I was seeing her almost at the back. Only the two Spaniards at the rear in front of her. Well, we see Kuba. Well, Kuba took a fall in the qualifying rounds, but picked herself up to get her through to the final as one of the fastest non-automatic qualifiers. Clarisse Kruse and Krause. Svetlana Schmidt still is stuck at the back there, sandwiched between the two Spaniards, Zulema Fuentes-Pilar and Diana Martin. Now just moving forward a little bit, just eased up over the final 30 or 40 metres to get herself in the main pack, but she's tucked in there. There you can see her in the middle of your picture. So it's Kuba leading the way at the moment.
Well, we're just coming up to kilometre time. There it is, 3 minutes 14.53. So it's 9:45 pace, which is pretty sedate, really, by the standards of some of the athletes in this field.
Yes, when you're comparing that with Mingir's personal best, it's more than 30 seconds slower than that. And that obviously does play into the hands of the faster runners. It's not really taking the sting out of them at all. Well, I'm just wondering, like we've seen so often in major championships finals when we've talked about Kenyans, whether Kuba is actually acting as the pacemaker for her two better compatriots. But now we're back at the discus with Rutger Smith, lying in 8th place at the moment. Well, that's going to be an improvement for Smith. Not going to challenge the top 3, but a significant improvement nevertheless. Seeing what's coming up for Smith. He was lying 8th and at the rear of these finalists at the moment. It's 61.71. That's obviously significantly better. Taking a long time getting the distance up, but it is 63.97 for Smith, and he goes into 4th place.
Well, meanwhile, the 3,000 metre steeplechase field has slowed again. It's bunched up a lot. Svetlana Schmidt, who we were wondering about at the back of the field, has taken a little closer now, but it's slow.
Clarice Kruth up at the front and leading the way at the moment, and still Gülcan Mıngır in very, very good position there on the inside, and having a clear look at the barriers as she comes up to them. Danikova from Bulgaria and Gorchakova from Russia, the women you can see in your shot, and also Krauser from Germany. Still no real sign of Schmidt there. She seems to be going backwards and forwards in the middle of that pack. Now it's Eriksson bringing up the rear, which is getting a few cheers from the Finnish crowd, as you might expect from any finalist here in the Helsinki Olympic Stadium. But this echelon is still being led by Clarice Kruth.
See Schmidt just making her way through. She's come through to the inside now in, 4th place. 3 laps to go.
Not the best of positions, though, for Schmidt. She is rather boxed on the inside there, but it's still Clarice Kruth leading the way. Schmidt just drifting back, as you can see in the running positions there, back in 5th. Bobasel moving up to 4th, well, Bobasel out on the outside. Gorchakova now, for the first time, showing at the front. But still Mingir on the inside and covering every move that's happening. But now Schmidt, well, she's worked her way out from the inside. She's now lying in 3rd. Back to the discus. We're switching very quickly between track and field here. Oh, a huge throw from Robert Harting. That certainly extends his lead. A massive throw there in the 4th round from Robert Harting. And a smile on Jürgen Schmidt's face. Jürgen Schultz, I should say. Keep calling him Schmidt. I'm sure he won't take offence too much. I hope he doesn't, he's a big man. Let's look at that great throw again from Harting. Roars it across the night sky here in Helsinki. That is probably around 68 metres, but we'll wait and confirm. Well, he already had the lead. It's just under 66 metres. 65.80 to his name already, but that is going to be a huge improvement. 68.30. Well, it's almost 3 metres in front of anybody else.
Well, in the steeplechase, a lap ago they went through the 2 kilometres in 3:17.4, so it's slower. But since then, the big 4 favourites have really taken it up. Still, Svetlana Schmidt, after biding her time, went into the lead, and there's Mingir with her, there's Karlamova as well, and then Krauser just further back. So the race is really on now as they come up with just a lap and a half to go.
Well, as you can see there, it is Schmidt and Mingir at the front with Krause just tucked in behind them. They were the three we were expected to show very prominently, and in fourth place it's Mildner Schmidt from Germany, the German record holder. And we hit the bell. It's Schmidt and Mingir. Krause in third, Mildner Schmidt in fourth. They're the four that are clear away at the moment. Then Daylight about 5 metres back to fifth place. Now Schmidt trying to work hard at the front, trying to pull away. Well, they're over that barrier cleanly. Krause starting to drift back. She can't stay with the pace of the leading two. So it's Schmidt and Mingir head to head with just under 200 metres to go. Schmidt, Mingir once again. Now Schmidt really starting to exert some pressure on Mingir. Schmidt looking very, very good indeed as they come into the water jump for the final time. Schmidt's over it well, so is Mingir. Krause stuttering there. Mildner back in fourth, but it's between Mingir. Mingir comes through on the inside and she's got Schmidt now, but Schmidt really powering into this final hurdle. Oh, makes a mess of that final hurdle though. Mingir is now away. The gold medal is in her grasp. Mingir looks as though she's going to get the gold. Schmidt tries to claw it back over the final metres, but it is Gülcan Mıngır from Turkey, unofficially 9 minutes 32.97 seconds. That's the first gold medal for Turkey at these championships. Gülcan Mıngır confirmed her status as the favourite for this event after her super fast time earlier this season. Ukraine's Svetlana Schmidt takes second place. And unofficially, it's Mildner Schmidt who wins the battle between the Germans for third place, just coming home ahead of Krause.
Well, she raised her victory salute arms just a little bit prematurely. Schmidt was narrowing the gap, so it was a bit dangerous, but that was a very fine performance. Schmidt obviously bided her time, and it was quite a battle round the last bend, but this young athlete is a newcomer, of course, to the top world scene, and very quickly she's become European champion. Always well positioned, second or third for much of the race, and the big three, big four, just took it up with a kilometre to go, and in the end it was a battle between the two, won comfortably by Mingir, and the battle of the Germans, well, Mildner Schmidt finished fairly well clear of Krause in the end. But a Turkish gold medal.
Here we can see the final stages of that race. And Mingir's just got in front there. Both of the athletes have a clear view of the final barrier. Well, Schmidt, perhaps that was where the gold medal was lost. She did make hard work of getting over that barrier. Mingir took it cleanly and was able to power away to the finish across the line. Schmidt, well, may have sensed that Mingir was just easing up over the final 10 metres. And Krause paid for some rather sloppy hurdling and really handed the bronze medal to her colleague Mildner Schmidt. Here we see the final run-in. Well, you're absolutely right, Peter. I do think it was a rather dangerous tactic to ease up probably about 5 metres before the line and race.
It's still a metre clear, but nonetheless it could have gone the other way. And here's Mildner Schmidt, as you said, going away from Krause in the final stages.
Yes, Krause really had big problems over the final water jump. Really didn't clear that very well, and that gave Mildner Schmidt the chance to close the gap, and then her superior finishing speed took her home to a bronze. Well, gold goes to Turkey, but I have to say it's a fantastic return to form for Mildner Schmidt. She had an awful lymphatic disorder in 2010 which wiped out the year for her, including competing at these championships last time around. Only had one very low-key race last year, finishing fourth in the German national championships, and has come back to form with very hard work over the winter. And, well, that long winter and that 18 months of difficulties was, well, the difficulties weren't rewarded. It was her hard work in overcoming